Hi, I'm Lenna, and I'll be teaching a full body unwind for porch light wellness today. For anyone who's visually impaired, I am a white presenting Arab American cis woman. I have long brown hair in a ponytail, and I am sitting cross-legged on a green mat in a yoga studio with light green walls. I'm going to be walking us through what we're doing today. So feel free as I talk to get comfortable, to grab anything you need. Maybe you want some props for getting cozy later when we rest. So blankets or towels. Maybe you want a pillow. Maybe you want tea or water. Everything that I teach is going to be optional, which means you can opt out of anything that doesn't feel good and you can adapt anything so that it feels better. We're going to be starting with some centering. After that, I will guide you through a head to toe gentle movement, which you can do seated on the floor or in a chair. I'm seated on some blankets because that allows my hips to be a little bit higher up and my spine to stay straight. So that's comfortable for me, but feel free to use to sit up against a wall for support if that feels good, or to sit in a chair. So we'll do the movement. I will focus on some vagus nerve exercises. The vagus nerve connects the brainstem with organs in the chest and the abdomen. It helps us recover from stress so that we can be more resilient. And then after that, I'll guide a progressive muscle relaxation, and then we'll rest and close out together. So get comfortable, find a comfortable seat. You might shift your weight side to side or front to back to find a place where you feel grounded. Maybe sense into any sensations that you feel in the lower body as you notice the support of the ground underneath you. You might lift up tall through the spine, through the crown of the head to a comfortably tall seat. Maybe roll the shoulders back. And we'll tune in here with sound. I'm going to be ringing a singing bowl. If you would like, you are also welcome to take a humming breath or any other kind of breath that feels good for you to start our practice. And as I settle in here and feel supported by the earth, I'd like to express gratitude for the ancestors of the soil that I'm on right now, and for the people of color in South Asia and Africa who developed some of these practices. So you might begin by tuning in with your own breath. Take notice of the pace of your breath. There's no need to change it. There's no need to judge it. You might place your hand or hands on the chest, on the belly, on the sides of the rib cage, to pay attention to the ways in which your body expands to take in air. You can breathe in through the nose or mouth, and maybe there's sensation available to you there. Maybe you notice sound. And then we'll begin by adding some movement with the head and neck. You can turn your head side to side. And maybe this is an opportunity to take in your surroundings. Notice where you are. You can move your head and neck. You can use your eyes to look around the space. And you might observe things as if you'd never seen them before. Maybe you notice shapes and colors. Maybe you notice light or shade. And this is one way that we remind our bodies of where we are which is a way that we can tell ourselves that we're safe. You might tip an ear to the shoulder, maybe take circles or half circles with the head. You can bring the chin towards the chest. You can stop and stretch at any point along the way. And you have total control over these movements. You can move at whatever pace feels good. They can be as small of a movement as you like. If this feels really good, you're welcome to continue with this. Or you can pause, you can come to center, and begin to take movements with the shoulders. So you can roll one or both shoulders back or forwards. You can keep your hands resting in your lap or hanging by your sides, or you can take the fingertips to the shoulders and take circles with the elbows. And maybe you'd like to extend the arms and take circles with the whole arms, taking up as much space as you'd like. And again, this is a movement you have control over. You can move at whatever pace feels good. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. We're going to be doing a vagus nerve exercise next. If at any point you start to feel dizzy or lightheaded, that's maybe an indication to take it easy. You can come out at any point if you need to, but it's normal to start to notice a drop in your energy here, slowing of the breath and the heart rate. So you can start by tipping an ear towards a shoulder. I'm starting on my left side, so my left ear is hovering above my left shoulder. And I'm going to take my left hand and place it on top of the side of my head. I'm not pushing here, I'm not stretching, I'm just gently placing my hand in this place. And then I'm going to look up diagonally away from my elbow. So in this case, I'm looking up to the right with my eyeballs. And we'll be here for 30 seconds. As we're here, you might begin to take long, soft, deep breaths. If at any point you start to feel strain, you can close the eyes or come out. If you're wanting a little more, you can add a hold in the breath right at the top of the breath. So you can inhale, hold the breath, and then exhale. Okay, and then as you're ready, you can slowly remove the hand. You can bring the head up to center and take a moment to adjust. You might just keep your gaze steady for a moment. Take a few breaths. And then when you're ready, you can try the other side. So I'm moving to my right side, tipping my right ear to my right shoulder, taking my right hand to the side of my head, and looking up diagonally away from my elbow, so up to the left. And we'll be here for 30 seconds. If you'd like to add a little more to this, you can hold the breath after the inhale before you exhale. So inhale, hold, and then exhale. If at any point you need to close the eyes or stop focusing diagonally away from the elbow because you're feeling eye strain, you're welcome to. And then coming out in your own time, taking a moment to recenter, maybe focusing the gaze on a fixed point checking in with the breath or the heart rate if that feels good. As you're ready, we'll be moving into some spinal movements. I'm going to be demonstrating some cat-cows, but you are absolutely welcome to take any movements that feel good in the spine. So I'm going to start by bringing my chin towards the chest and curling the belly in, stretching the back behind me, and making a C shape with my body. And then I'm going to lift the gaze, straighten the spine, and then tip the hips forward so that I'm creating a C in the opposite direction. So there's opening across the chest. And you can move here between these two shapes, the cat and the cow, or you're welcome to take any other movements that feel good here. Maybe you take circles. All of this can be done at whatever pace feels good for you. Maybe you want the movement to follow the breath, so you can follow the exhale as you curl in to a cat, and follow the inhale as you lift the gaze, tip the hips forward. Taking any additional movements that you're wanting or needing here, then come back to center when you're ready. Next, I'll be taking a twist. So I'm going to do a seated twist. I'm taking one hand to the outside of the opposite leg and lifting up tall through the spine as I twist. I'm taking my other hand, I can place it down on the ground behind me or at the hip. If you're in a chair that has a back, you can hold on to the back of the chair. That can be a nice way to leverage. Sitting up tall as I twist. Your gaze can be wherever that feels good for you. So you can look all the way over your shoulder for a twist all the way up the spine, or you can allow the head to be directly above the chest, looking straight forward. Then taking the other side when you're ready. Hand to the outside of the opposite leg, lifting up tall as you twist. You can take this hand and place it behind you. Continuing to breathe. If at any point you notice holding your breath or having difficulty breathing, you might come out a little bit or altogether from this shape. Come back to center when you're ready. Next, we'll be doing figure 4. So I'm going to remove the blankets from my mat to make space, and I'm coming to sit on the ground with my knees bent and soles of the feet on the ground. If you're seated in a chair, you'll just be sitting in a chair with your knees bent, soles of the feet on the ground. And when you're ready, you can take one ankle and cross it over the opposite leg so that your legs make figure 4 shape. You can adjust the intensity of this stretch and where you feel the stretch by extending this leg straight, the bottom leg straight, or bringing the whole shape closer in. If this is not accessible to you, you can always cross the ankle lower down on the leg. That can maybe help cause less strain. If you're seated on the ground and you would like to come to your back, you're welcome to do that. You can come down onto the back, keeping that sole of the foot on the ground. Or if you're wanting more of a stretch, you can pull the whole shape in towards the body by lifting the foot off the ground and holding onto the back of the back leg. So choosing whatever option feels best for you here. Just enjoying a few breaths. Then as you're ready, you can uncross the legs and take the other side. So uncross the legs and then recross the other side, the ankle across the top of the other knee, the bent leg. and choosing again whichever option feels best for you. This might be different on this side than it was on the other side, and that's okay. But again, you can adjust how close in this shape is to the body. You can stretch the back leg out in front of you. You can come down onto the back. You can pull the whole shape in towards the chest on the back. So whatever feels best here for you. And just taking a couple breaths here. And then as you're ready, you can uncross. Take a moment to check in with your body. Is there anything else that you're wanting or needing here before we move towards rest? You're absolutely welcome to shift, to stretch. Just tune in. Is there anything else you're wanting? And then as you're ready, you can move towards whatever you'd like your final resting shape to be. We're going to be moving through a progressive muscle relaxation there, which means we'll be tensing and releasing those muscles. So whatever feels good. You can be seated. You can be in a legs up the wall shape. So you can scoot up towards the wall and let your body shaped like an L rest with your legs up against the wall. And you can also use any other, you can just lay it down on the ground if that feels good. Grab anything for support under the knees or the neck, whatever you'd like. So taking your time, making your way to whatever would feel good here. Grabbing any supports that you might need. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to tense major muscle groups from the feet and lower legs all the way up the body. This will allow us to squeeze the muscles and then release them to release any excess tension that we might not have even noticed that we were holding. If this feels like something you want to opt out of, please feel free. You can rest wherever you are rather than following along. So we'll start with the muscles of the feet and the lower legs. You might point the toes, clench the muscles of the calves. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release. Moving up the body to the upper legs. Squeeze the muscles of the upper legs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Let go. Maybe take a moment here and notice if there are any sensations coming up. Any places where you notice being supported by the ground. Then you can move up the body. Focus on the abdomen, the chest, the arms, and the hands. So you can make fists. Clench the muscles of the arms, the hands. You can curl in a little bit in your body and engage the muscles of the belly. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release. Again, you can take a moment here and check in with the body. What do you notice? Is there a shift in your breath, your heart rate, your body temperature? And finally, the neck, the shoulders, the face. We'll squeeze all of them. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then let go. If it feels okay to do so, this might be a good opportunity to notice the breath, to Just recenter. And then as you're ready, you can settle into relaxation. You might notice here that as we have done our progressive muscle relaxation, you might want some additional props. Maybe you want some support under the knees, maybe you want to cover the eyes, maybe you want to grab a blanket. You can take a few moments to grab anything that you need. Maybe paying attention to every part of the body one by one to see if there's any adjustments you need. If you want to move what angle your foot is at or the distance between your body and your hands. Is there anything that your feet, ankles, lower legs need to be more comfortable here? Do you need support under your knees or to adjust your feet? Noticing the hips and the upper legs. Is there anything you need here to be more comfortable? Noticing the back, the belly, the chest. Is there anything you need here to be just a little bit more comfortable? Giving yourself permission to grab anything you need, to shift and adjust. There's no need to rush towards stillness. Noticing the arms, the wrists, the hands. Is there any tension you're holding that you'd like to let go or soften with an exhale? Do you need any other supports here? Noticing the neck, the throat, the jaw, the forehead, the scalp. Is there tension you're holding here that isn't serving you? I'm going to ring the chime just as a way to ease in to relaxation. And then we'll do 3 minutes of silence, and then I will guide you out with the sound of my voice. We'll come up to a seat and close together. Whenever you're ready, you might begin to bring your attention back if it's drifted. You might notice your body in space. Maybe you're aware of the unconditional support of the ground below you. Maybe you start to take in the sound of my voice or other sounds in your space. You might deepen the breath. As you're ready, taking all the time you need, maybe moving at half the pace you would otherwise. Gently and carefully begin to bring some gentle movement back to the body. You're always welcome to just stay where you are, to opt out of the rest of this practice and continue to rest. If you have the time and space to do that, I think that's lovely. But if you're wanting, perhaps begin to expand those movements. If you're on your back, you can roll to one side. Take all the time you need. On your next exhale, you can push yourself up to a seat if you'd like to close in a seated place. You can rub the hands together for some warmth. Maybe place them over the eyes or the back of the neck or the heart. I'm going to close us out with the singing bowl. If you would like to join in closing with sound, you're welcome to take a humming breath by humming on an exhale. So you'll inhale and then hum on an exhale. Thank you.